every day, and so we became really good friends, and my dad became really good friends with him, and he used to just, like, clean the floors and mop the floors and wipe the floors up with cleans and everything because he's a good person. He wanted to just do something good for my dad and to do him a good favor. And that's sweet. And he was just a little kid, and I was like 3 years old or 2 or something. And I decided to bring my tricycle to the bowling world, and well, the black kid, his name was Lonezo, and well, he always rode his bicycle home from bowling world, and well, one day when I had my tricycle finally, I stole a Cabbage Patch doll from the nursery, and it was white and had blonde hair, and I took it with me, and he said he was gonna go ride his bicycle home, and if I wanted to go with him, I could, so I just did, and so we were riding bicycles, but I was riding my tricycle, and I didn't really make it too far with my tricycle, especially in the mud, so I was stuck, and he went on. And like hours later, for real, like this guy pulled up with the truck and asked me if I wanted to ride, and asked where I was going. I said I want to find my mommy, and I actually thought that the whole world knew who my mommy was and where my mommy was, but because I was just a little kid and thought that everyone knew who my mommy was and where my mommy lived just by calling her mommy. And well, he gave me a ride and put my tricycle in the back of his truck. And what happened, well, my mom was aware that I was gone, so she actually went driving around looking for me. And guess what? That guy who picked me up, first of all, I want to tell you, that guy that picked me up, he ended up being a bad person. He picked up Lonezo, and that's why I named my doll Lonezo, because he ended up picking up Lonezo. He stabbed Lonezo and he raped him, and he took his shoelace and strangled Lonezo and threw him in the lake, and really, for real, and then like that's why I named this doll Lonezo, because I love him. Isn't that so sweet? Isn't that so cool? Yeah, because I stole a Cabbage Patch doll, and it had blonde hair, and I kept it forever, and I think I cut its hair or something, so I decided to just get myself a Lonezo. And Cabbage Patch. That's why I named it as that. Well, anyway, back to my story about the same story. Back to me in the truck of the kidnapping killer of Lonezo. Well, he drove all the way to his house, I think, or my mom, because my mom, when she was driving around, she looked and found that guy's truck. Like, she looked in the back of his truck, and she saw my tricycle, and she was like, well, maybe, you know, I'm just gonna follow that truck around. And soon enough, whenever he parked, she confronted him, and he just said that he was going to give me a ride to his mom, which is her, and that he needed to do something at his house or something real quick. Whatever. And that was that. My mom didn't call the police or anything, because she didn't really know until years later, and I've never been told this story until years later. And his brother was named William, and my dad owned this duplex that he reached out to William. But before that, when he was remodeling the duplex or whatever, he took out the floor, and he found a Ouija board underneath the floorboards, like where the dirt is and stuff, buried. And he found the oracle, but he didn't bring it home, but it was homemade and everything. And there was this other house that he owned, and he found a Ouija board in the attic for real. It was from the 70s, and he gave it to me. But my mom broke it because me and my best friend were at the mall, and we were fooling around and being funny, and I was trying on these high heels or something. They were yellow high heels, and I said to Jeremy to wear them out because she wanted those high heels, and I was like, I'll wear them out. And we ran outside with them, and I put them in my car, and then when we came back inside, there was the cops saying, oh, those shoes are missing out of the box and stuff, and we think he took them, and they said, can we check your car? And I walked all the way to my car, and he kept asking, are you sure that I have permission to get in your car? And I was like, unlocking the door, and I was like, what if I said no? And I locked it, and I said, well, what if I said no? And he's like, well, what if you get more officers and stuff like that to check you and all that stuff? Basically, peer pressure means saying yes, but I was saying no. And, well, I kept them, and then my mom ended up, when I told her that, she was mad, and she ended up taking my car and throwing those shoes away and breaking my Ouija board that my dad found in the attic. So that was annoying. But yeah, at least I still have the wooden Ouija board. I'll show you. Actually, I have both the Ouija boards, the broken one and the wooden one. Here is the wooden Ouija board my dad found underneath the house, homemade and everything. And here's, and here's the one my mom broke for something. Yeah, it was broke. She broke it. And I have the piece in here somewhere. But that's my story. And I have another story about how I was kidnapped years later, when I was like 19 or 20 or something. I was at Walmart, and seriously, I will tell you that story in part number 2, okay? In a hurry. Anxious.
Here's part 2.
Kidnapped. I really got kidnapped the second time. I was at Walmart with my mom and dad, I guess. I don't know. And then well, anyways, I had a migraine, okay? And I was running around the store and I got some gushers when I didn't know I was allergic to all that stuff. Anyway, gushers were like my favorite thing to eat. So I thought that it would be funny to throw gushers in everybody's basket because I want everyone to try these gushers. Are so good. So I would throw them in people's basket and pretend that I didn't do it when they were like gonna check out. And I threw one in this one guy's cart, and he thought it was funny. He said he's never had anybody do that before. And then so me and him went outside and started talking. I got a phone call. And I'll just call him back later. Or answer. I'll call him back later. Anyways, well, I was, I walked him to his car, and he told me, he gave me his number and stuff, and he thought it was really funny. And I liked his shirt, and, forgot what it was, what shirt he was wearing, but I really wanted it. I thought it was cool. And anyways, whatever. Forgot what his astrology sign was too. But, well, asked me if I wanted to hang out with them and stuff, and I was like, yeah, maybe later or whatever. So I'll call you, blah blah. And I had my cell phone on me, and well, right when I was walking in to Walmart, these three Mexican guys, buff Mexican guys, seriously grabbed me and took me into their car for real. And I didn't know them at all. And I was screaming and yelling and stuff. It's like, help me, I don't, let me go, let me get, all that stuff. And I was like, what the fuck? Are you just kidding with me? I really thought that they were just putting a prank on me, like just bullying me for fun. Because people just do weird things to me, and I'm just like, are you for real or not? I mean, I don't get it. So, they were for real. And, there was people outside watching me get kidnapped, and they didn't give a fuck, and the Mexican person said, oh, he's drunk, we're gonna take him home. Bullshit, I was not drunk, hell no, and I had a migraine. I was having allergy problems real bad for a long time of years, but that's a different story, that's very painful to talk about. But anyways, okay, well, anyways, like, they put the car door on lock, or whatever, childproof lock, and, well, but the stupid thing is they forgot to put the window on lock, and they stopped at a stop sign down the street from Walmart, and I just rolled down the window and I jumped out, and oh my god, he grabbed me, and oh my god, I almost couldn't get away, and I ran to the closest house I could, and I told them I was just kidnapped, and I need to call the police, and they're like, okay. They acted like it was no big deal. They acted like nonchalant about it. And I was like, okay. And they said, well, when I'm done, you can use the phone. What? Okay, so I waited for a long time for them to get off that phone. And I decided, you know what, I'm not going to call the police because I don't even have an address. I don't even know what they looked like, really. They were just three Mexicans. One of them had a blue shirt on that was sleeveless, and I just couldn't remember what the other two looked like. Really. They were big, but that muscly one was in the back seat with me. The main one. And so, I had such a migraine that I couldn't stand to even talk to anybody at all. So, I wasn't going to waste my life on, telling the cops, you can't do nothing. Because I don't know anything about that world. You have to make a police report, and then what? Okay. You could have reviewed some cameras at Walmart and caught them, possibly, for real. I didn't really think about that. I couldn't think I had such a migraine. I was dying of migraine and swelled up face because of my allergies. It was just horrible. But anyways, so I decided, well, I want to make a friend because, there's only once in a lifetime to actually hang out with somebody cool. And so I called that guy up that I threw my gushers in their basket, and he thought it was funny. I called him up and I told him about the story, and I asked him if he could pick me up because, basically, ditched my parents, since, I got kidnapped, or whatever. And and I just lived down the street from Walmart, and I said, basically, my parents, didn't care, because they probably thought that I was walking home anyways, because I told them that, actually, we ran into my ex-girlfriend there, and I told them I was going to catch up with her and maybe walk home or something anyways. So, basically, then I started, throwing gushers at people's baskets, and I couldn't find my ex-girlfriend, but I found that one guy, and it was funny. So, yeah. And then he picked me up, and we hung out. And that's my second story of how I got kidnapped. Twice.
Sickness, I rob my adversaries, but slipping left a witness. Wonder if they'll catch me or will this nigga snitch? Should I shoot this bitch or make the nigga rich? Don't wanna commit murder, but then they got me trapped. Walking while I'm walking, and talking behind my back. I'm trying to schizophrenic, I'm in the situated, cause that's the wheel of fortune. It's my chance to spin it. Got no time for cops, took a try to